man and beast, united as one. My name's JR, and this is Warframe Built to Destroy. Hey, what's up, pups? It's JR, and we're back with the Season 5 finale of Built to Destroy.
Of course, though, there are a few things that I'd like to get out of the way first. First off, I was actually thinking about changing my main avatar again to this one. But in the end, I decided to go with the one I currently have, purely because this is a little bit too, you know. So it looks like I'm actually going to be sticking with this one for the long run. But that's not important. We've hit 10,000 subscribers.
That's right, boys and girls. After a long, arduous journey, we've finally reached quintuple digits. Now, if you didn't notice, I posted an announcement video saying that I was going to do a Q&A video to celebrate 10,000 subscribers. Ideally, it'll be going up this Wednesday, so you better act fast because this is most likely your last chance to get your question in.
So, if you want to ask me something, head on over to the comment section and leave a comment in the announcements video, or go into the hashtag Q&A section of the Discord.
In other news, after a very extended waiting period, I have finally been monetized, so now I can officially make money directly from my YouTube videos. JR, does this mean you're going to try and extend videos out to 10 minutes for ad revenue?
You're damn right it does. Hey, don't blame me. I got lollies to feed here.
With all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Due to what I've said in the past and my stance on maiming strike, you might think that I absolutely hate whips and Warframe. Well, this isn't true.
Well, it is true for Skoliak, but that's a special case. I actually really like whips in Warframe. As an example, the second weapon I wanted after Fang was Lekta, and the first episode of Built to Destroy ever was on Atarax, before Maiming Strike existed and it got attention.
So as you can imagine, when DE said that the next Warframe was planned to have an exalted whip weapon, I was overjoyed and hoping that it was given completely null crit stats like Miter in hopes that the Maiming Strike nerds would fuck off away from that Warframe. While in the end she didn't actually end up having an exalted whip, I was still very much looking forward to the release of this Warframe, and when she was released, I was pleasantly surprised with how enjoyable and decently tanky she was. So, let's take a look at Korra. Korra dominates the battlefield with her feline companion Venari, harnessing the power of metal to wreak havoc on her enemies. Korra features average shields, above average health and energy, and 275 base armor, with a slightly increased 1.05 sprint speed. However, she has gotten a pretty bad reputation due to the fact that her abilities have been reworked several times very soon after her release, causing them to never quite work right.
This was most likely due to the fact that Korra's original plan was to base her around switching between the three physical damage types, Impact, Puncture, and Slash. But due to overwhelming demand and waning patience of the community, DE decided to scrap this idea so they could ship Korra faster. This was because DE was working on Damage 3.0 at the time, and seeing as how their newest to be released Warframe was entirely based around that damage type, they had to scrap the idea or else she wouldn't work right at all. But the community was demanding that Korra be released, seeing as how Warframe was in a dry spell as far as content updates go at the time. So DE decided to bite the bullet and release Korra with the same concept of switching the effect of her abilities, but without the focus of the three physical damage types. So now, instead of switching between Impact, Puncture, and Slash, she instead switches between Attack, Protect, and Heal. But we'll get more into that when we get into her abilities.
Korra's first ability is Whip Claw. When cast, Korra cracks her whip in front of her with a base reach of 10 meters and a base whip crack explosion radius of 5 meters. In addition, Whip Claw is also affected by melee mods, enabling it to deal much more damage than any other single cast damage ability, much like Atlas's Landslide. From my experience, it also seems that Whip Claw's status chance is affected by Weeping Wounds, but its crit chance is not affected by Blood Rush. Also, it is apparently affected by augment mods like Jack Katag's Vulcan Blitz and Riven mods, so that's pretty cool. Whipclaw's damage is affected by strength mods, and its reach as well as the explosion radius are both affected by range mods. Korra's second ability is Ensnare. When cast on an enemy, the enemy is ensnared in living metal and rendered completely immobile for a base duration of 15 seconds. In addition, the Ensnare effect will spread to enemies with a base radius of 10 meters of the ensnared target. It will automatically ensnare more enemies twice, but after that, you need to cast Whipclaw on the ensnared enemies to grab anyone else in range. The first group of people grabbed by your initially ensnared target are disabled for 75% of the original duration and will bring more people into the ensnare. However, the second group of ensnared enemies will be disabled for 75% of the first group's already reduced duration and will not bring more people into ensnare. However, you can still whip them to force them to do so. In addition, ensnared enemies will take double damage from Whipclaw. And Snare's duration is affected by duration mods, and the range it can pull people in is affected by range mods. Korra's third ability is Venari. When cast, Korra summons her Kavat Venari to assist her in battle. However, she is already summoned whenever you first get into a mission, at no energy cost. Venari's sprint speed is affected by strength mods. You can switch between Korra and Venari's different forms by pressing or holding the ability button depending on your settings. Personally, I have it set to press to switch forms, hold to cast the ability, so that's what I'll be basing everything off of. Quick little note, you can actually see which form was meant to be which damage type before Korra was disassociated with physical damage. Attack was originally Puncture, Protect was originally Impact, and Heal was originally Slash. Not really important and pretty obvious, but I thought it was pretty neat. In all three forms, you can cast the ability on a specific target to point Venari's attention to them. Their attack form enables Venari to roam around the battlefield and attack and ensnare enemies, or ensnare a specific target if marked. Their attack form enables Venari to roam around the battlefield and attack and ensnare enemies, or ensnare a specific target if marked. Venari's Ensnare, however, deals 350 base damage, as opposed to Korra's Ensnare, which doesn't deal damage at all. This is affected by strength mods and the companion mod Maul. Venari's Ensnare deals damage 5 times over the duration of the Ensnare, as well as dealing a guaranteed slash proc, making it a very good ability to take down heavy targets with a lot of armor if you have a high strength build. The duration of her Ensnare, however, is not affected by duration mods and always lasts 2.5 seconds. Their Protect form causes Venari to protect both herself and Korra from the nearest enemy by using her own ability, Tail Whip, to knock down and permanently disarm the enemy. Of course, you can mark a specific enemy to have Venari disarm them specifically. This form is not affected by any mods due to the fact it's so bare bones and straightforward. Their Heal form enables Venari to be a nice kitty and go around healing the person with the most health missing the moment they get below 90% of their max health. Luckily, Venari doesn't just heal one specific person. She simply follows the person around with the least current health and has a healing aura around her that any ally can stand in range of and get the benefits from. And like every other form, you can mark a specific ally for Venari to heal, including yourself if you don't look at any specific target and cast the ability. The amount Venari heals per second is affected by strength mods, but the heal radius and the health threshold are not affected by mods. Korra's fourth ability is Strangle Dome. When cast, Korra summons a dome of living metal that grabs and ragdolls any enemy within a base radius of 10 meters, dealing a base 250 damage per second to anyone caught in the Strangle Dome for a base duration of 20 seconds. The dome is made of 26 vertices that each can hold a single enemy, meaning that each of a maximum of 2 Strangle Domes can hold up to 26 different enemies, making 52 in total. This means you can completely disable 52 enemies just by casting 2 Strangle Domes. However, you can't cast them in the same spot, or it just overrides the duration of the one that was already there. Any enemies caught in the Strangle Dome take 200% damage from weapons and abilities. In addition, if Whip Claw is cast on an enemy in Strangle Dome, it deals 50% of the total damage dealt to everyone else in the dome. Another cool thing about Strangle Dome is that it actually doubles its own damage to any enemies caught, so it actually deals a base 500 damage per second. Strangle Dome's damage per second is affected by strength mods, its duration is affected by duration mods, and its radius and range it pulls in enemies is affected by range mods. As we head over to my build, take note that my Venari's build is not complete in the slightest, so I'm not going to be showing it. With my 4-forma build, I have Vitality and Steel Fiber increasing Korra's survivability, Blind Rage and Intensify increasing her strength, Streamline and Fleeting Expertise increasing her efficiency and counteracting the negative of Blind Rage, and Primed Continuity increasing her duration and counteracting the negative of Fleeting Expertise. In addition, I have Energy Siphon for my Aura mod and Handspring for my Exilus mod.
Like I said though, Korra has a pretty bad reputation because she had such a rocky launch. However, I've enjoyed every iteration, and every iteration of her has actually been really viable and tanky. So let's go see what Korra can do. That's going to wrap up this episode of Build to Destroy. If you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to become a pup if you haven't already. Also, if you want to support me and the channel, consider becoming a patron for as low as $1 a month. My name's JR, and I'll see you guys in the next one.